Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Control Room Podcast. I got my guy, as usual, Ramiro. How you doing, man?
Despite what happened with the Lakers, all right, can I say, how about them Dodgers?
So,
Huh?
listen, you're gonna have to fill me in on something because I think I saw on Twitter or Instagram, or maybe you sent it to me, where it was like Dodgers, um,
Clinched.
they won their division.
This is the 8th year in a row.
Okay.
But we're going to finish the deal. We're actually going to finish the job this time because we got Mookie Betts, the MVP. I know it's a short season, but he is the MVP, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so the Dodgers have a similar feel to the Clippers coming up short in the playoffs.
No.
Very similar trajectories, doesn't great regular season.
Please
doesn't
refrain from comparing, okay, the Dodgers to the Clippers, okay?
I'm just saying. You said this, so okay.
The Dodgers have won a World Series. It was a long time ago. I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
It was in 88.
I was 2.
But look, I have a feeling, and I told you this, that I have a feeling that much like 88, the Dodgers and the Lakers will win championships this year.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's jump right into it because the Dodgers had a great night. But there was a basketball game played as well. And, Nuggets did their job. They kept it in series. So what did you think about what happened tonight, man? Did you catch the game?
I was going back and forth with the Dodger and the Laker game. The first 3 quarters were tough to watch.
You guys were down 20 at one point, correct?
It was tough to watch. Anthony Davis, let's say he was uninterested, non-existent after that great shot that he hit last game. That was a beautiful thing,
We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss.
Did you read his lips when he hit that? When he hit that shot, he mouthed Kobe. I told you they're going to win this thing for Kobe. Despite what happened tonight, I still feel very confident. The Lakers have dropped at least one game in every series. Usually it's the first game.
Right.
They dropped the third game tonight. But the only problem I had tonight was Anthony Davis was just not rebounding, man. I mean, we got into the fourth quarter, and he literally had 0 rebounds.
I saw that.
That's a problem for a big man. Jokic was just dominant tonight. The Joker is special, man.
You see that dunk by Murray? You see that?
As a Clipper fan, that Jokic can definitely carry a team, and he's been awesome. And then on top of that, you get Jamal Murray on board, and all of a sudden he gets it going, and he's hitting, Steph Curry type of threes at the end of the game and doing his little shimmy.
And dunking on y'all. You see that dunk?
And, that was – you know what? I got to give him props. That was nice. An exclamation point.
It was nice. Very, very nice.
But like I said, man, I'm not worried. The Lakers have dropped at least one game in every series. It just so happened that it was the third game.
Okay.
And we're going to bounce back. We'll be fine.
So, listen, obviously the Clippers are out, and we'll get into that because this is the first time we're able to talk about it on the show. But I'm just going to ask you just a few questions. Does it concern you at all that the Nuggets have fallen behind in each of their series, and they have come back to win that series, and it seems to be following a similar pattern, down 2-1, and they really should have won game 2 because Plumlee, first off, I wasn't watching game 2, to be honest with you, because I'm a little disinterested in basketball at the moment for obvious reasons. But once I saw that shot, and I'm like, why was he wide open? If you replay it back, Plumlee stops following AD because he's anticipating a switch on a screen, but no screen was actually set. So then you just get Plumlee and Grant on LeBron, who hasn't moved, and AD is wide open. So really, it should be 2-1 Denver.
in Plumlee's defense, he maybe thought the ball was going to LeBron because LeBron is so clutch.
Oh God!
Historically.
Oh God!
That
oh my gosh!
He thought, hey, they were double teaming LeBron. He thought the ball was going to LeBron.
No.
And AD was just open to take that three.
Because of the modern day NBA, where everybody switches everything like a robot, he was anticipating a pick. There's only 2 seconds on the clock, Romo. If he just stays with AD, that shot doesn't happen. And the Nuggets win the game. It was a total breakdown.
It was a beautiful, beautiful moment, man. You know what it reminded me of? That great shot that Ori made at Staples Center when the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where you wish that they were playing at Staples Center because Staples Center would have just exploded, man. It would have been so loud in there.
You know what? On I think it was The Jump, they were playing some of the greatest Laker game-winning, buzzer-beating shots of all time. Did you check this out? Did you get a chance to see this?
I think I caught a little bit of it.
So obviously you had Magic shot, the baby hook against Boston at 87, I believe. But they also had Kobe shot, the woo, like that shot but you know what? They didn't win that series. But then they also showed the Robert Horry shot. But you know what? There's another shot that they didn't show. Kobe Bryant also hit a game winner in that Detroit series in game 2 over Rip Hamilton in 2004, I believe. But they lost that series too. So we'll see where this shot lands in Laker history, depending on if the Lakers win this series or not.
It's up there. It's up there. Tonight's game, however, was tough to watch. I texted you about Chris Webber annoying the hell out of me throughout the game. I think he's still mad, about all those times the Lakers beat the Sacramento Queens.
You're still with the Queens stuff. He still
hasn't gotten over that.
Okay.
Dude, Chris Webber is the worst.
You guys
he is so freaking annoying.
It's on the record that the referee fixed Game 6, so you really shouldn't bring up that series too often.
Are you really going to bring up Tim Donaghy now?
He has every right to be upset because that was their year.
He did his jail time. He's paid his debt to society. Hey, let it go, man.
Okay, let me look. I'm gonna give you my honest assessment. Okay. Playoff Rondo is real. Okay, because you guys were down 20 points. And I swear Rondo literally stole the ball 15 times in a row from the Denver Nuggets. It was like a video game. It was like the sliders got turned up, the fouls got turned down, and Rondo was taking it from the Denver Nuggets every single play.
Rondo, man.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
Rondo single-handedly got him back into this game. Right. Because, they were down by double digits. He got, like you said, he got like 3 or 4 straight steals.
Yes.
His IQ is just –
yes.
Through the roof, man.
But listen, this is not coming from a Clipper perspective, slightly from a Clipper perspective, but this is just pure analysis. I think you guys got a problem, okay? Here's the thing. Denver is actually really good. Like everybody, they're not the glamorous team, not the glamorous market. Like you say, Jokic is a superstar. Jamal Murray is growing up before our eyes, okay? And they have a great supporting cast: Michael Porter Jr., Jeremy Grant, Gary Harris, a bunch of dudes, right? They had some dude coming off the bench. I don't even know his first name. He was 5 or 6 from the field, little point guard. Sorry, I can't keep up with all the damn Denver Nuggets.
That's great and all.
I got PTSD from that, but no, Romo, hear me out. Hear me out. Seriously, okay? They're better than you.
Look,
they're better than you.
Denver's a competitive team, but we're not the Clippers.
Look, listen. Let's throw the LA rivalry out the window. Denver should
because I just want to bring back the fact that you thought that the Clippers had a superior coaching staff.
They do.
They do. And then on top of that, you have 2 sixth man of the year.
Okay, sixth man of the year.
But there's a reason. There is a reason that both Lou Williams and Montrez are 6th men. They're not starting for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything to be proud of. There's a reason you're not a starter. There's a reason you're not a starter. Okay,
listen,
and they got exposed.
Listen,
they got exposed.
Listen.
Mr. Lemon Pepper.
Listen, I'm gonna give you after this. I'm gonna give you your total runway, and we can talk about what happened to the Clippers. But hear me, you and all the Laker fans, because 15 to 20 different Laker fans hit me up and are still hitting me up about the damn Clippers. And you know what? We deserve it. But I'm telling you right now, if you guys let Denver back into this series, they will not only beat you, but they will win the NBA championship, because this group has been together for like 3 years and they've gone through the playoff trials and tribulations. Like the Lakers, y'all just got put together this year. Clippers, we just got put together this year. They came back from 3-1 twice. Overall, they're better than you. The only way you guys will win, the only way, is if LeBron,
you are such a Laker hater.
Listen. If LeBron and AD play like superstars, you guys are fine. You brought up AD. LeBron has played like hot garbage in the fourth quarter of the last 2 games.
He had a triple-double.
Romo,
a triple-double, Mike.
In the fourth quarter, I'm watching the game with Laker fans. They want the ball in Rondo's hand. They don't want it in LeBron's hand. He missed jump shot after jump shot after jump shot. He can't shoot. And they got long Jeremy Grant on him.
He messed around and got a triple-double. What do you want from the man?
And you guys were down 20, and the only reason why you came back is because of playoff Rondo. So now I'm telling you, you have a problem. Denver is the real deal. If you don't put them out, like we did, you are gonna go through what we went through a week ago. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so it sounds like you feel that tonight's game was a turning point in this series.
100%.
Okay, I mean that's possible. I can
feel like they should have won, because I feel like they should have won the last game, and it took a defensive error and an awesome shot by AD. That's the only reason why you guys were even up.
Denver had a chance to win the last game. I mean, yes. Jokic had like 14 unanswered points all by himself.
Yes.
But if Davis doesn't hit that three, then
you guys are down.
Who knows?
You guys are down.
But look, I do agree with you that there are turning points in a series. I can think of a couple that happened between the Clippers and the Nuggets. For example, Morris talking trash to Millsap. I'm sure you heard about this, right?
Yes.
I think it was it like the fourth or fifth game?
It was game 5. Morris told Millsap, "Get your shit. It's time for you to go home." Something along those lines. And then Paul Millsap has like 14 points in the third quarter alone and brings.
So that was a pivotal moment.
Yes.
Okay, that backfired on him horribly. And also, I think really the one play that completely just changed that whole series around was that dunk that Porter had on your boy.
Oh, dude, I swear, I don't even know what game that was, so I disagree. I don't even know what game that was.
Oh, I don't know, 5.
No. I was going to say the turning point with Michael Porter Jr. was when Lou Will missed the 3. I believe it was in game 5 or game 6 that would have iced the game, because I want to say we were up 2. He was wide open, missed it, and then Michael Porter Jr. came down the other end, hit a 3, put them up, and they iced the game. And that was actually after Michael Porter Jr.'s comments of more people need to be involved besides Murray and Jokic or Joker, whatever. And I think that was a turning point with Michael Porter Jr. F the dunk, but that shot to put him up, I agree.
Look, man, I got to give Denver. They got a nice squad. A nice mix of young and veteran players. With Millsap being the veteran. And then you got the young guys like Porter that just come off the bench and they provide, instant offense. I mean, and of course you got to contend with Jokic and Murray. Those guys are a handful. If they both get it going, it's gonna be a tough series. I mean, it's not gonna be easy.
You guys have to put them away in the next 2 games. Otherwise, the Denver Nuggets will win the NBA championship, and the Clippers will be let off the hook. Because if you lose to the champ in 7 games, It's not that bad. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for. But I also see Denver is an extremely talented, deep team. Plus, they got the chemistry because over the years they've gone through losing to Game 7 in Portland last year, being down 3-1 in back-to-back series. Man, that builds character and that builds confidence. They know they're never out of it, and by almost beating you guys, making that big comeback last game, and then whooping that ass tonight, they know they can beat you, and that's a problem.
Look, by the end of this series,
you like that?
Okay. By the end of this series, okay, AD will show you why he should have been the Defensive Player of the Year, and LeBron will show you why he should have been the MVP.
Okay. I'm glad. Let's just discuss this MVP nonsense real quick. Let's just get this out the way. LeBron James is not the best player on the Lakers. Okay. Now, listen, most valuable, he kind of facilitates the offense. Everything runs through him cool. AD leads the Lakers in every statistical category with the exception of assists. And like you said, he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. So if LeBron has someone that talented on his team, how can he be MVP of the league when no one has Anthony Davis on their team? Explain that.
As much as I love the Greek Freak, I don't think that he was deserving of the MVP. Yes, Milwaukee have the best record in the league.
And
okay.
Yes, he was Defensive Player of the Year.
But overall, LeBron is just a better all-around player.
Well, I mean, listen. Okay. Hey, listen, Laker fans. I know you guys talk with your feelings and all this. If you actually look at the data and the stats, Giannis overall, points, rebounds, block shots, steals, PER, defense, all that is greater than LeBron. Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
So historically, how many guys have gone on to win MVPs that haven't won a championship?
Say that one more time.
So historically, right, how many guys have won MVPs without having won a previous championship?
A lot of people. Like Steve Nash went back-to-back MVPs, no rings.
Okay.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan both won MVPs without being a champion.
Prior to winning a championship?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, Nash is the exception. But see, when I think of MVPs, like I think of like the Hakeem Olajuwons, Magic, the guys that have proven that they can carry their team to a championship. I know that MVP is all about the regular season. I know it doesn't include the playoffs.
Right.
But I think maybe it should. I think maybe the NBA should hold off on voting until the season is completely over.
Why? Just so you can try and give it to LeBron. We don't have to change the rules for LeBron. LeBron won MVP in 2009 and 2010. And you know what happened in 2010? His number one Cleveland Cavaliers lost to the number 4 seed Boston Celtics in 6 games. So
now,
not that different from
let's
Giannis.
talk about that Cleveland Cavalier team.
Okay.
I mean, that roster that he carried, that he carried that deep was not a championship team, man.
Romo, it's just revisionist history where we have to downgrade every single one of LeBron's teammates, including Hall of Famers like D. Wade. But listen, they had the number 1 seed. They had the best record in the NBA, very similar to this Milwaukee Bucks team. Did he have another superstar with him? No. It was a collection of guys that fit around LeBron because, LeBron likes making trades and stuff. They were trying to keep Bron, so they were making all these roster adjustments. They were the number 1 seed, playing the number 4 seed. They lost in 6 games. So whatever excuse you want to make, you got to give Giannis the same pass because Bron did it himself.
Okay. Could you at the very least give LeBron credit? Because many people said that he will not have success in the West. Listen, now, let's talk about revisionist history. Give the man some credit. Give the man some credit.
He has Anthony Davis on his team.
Okay.
He was in the West last year.
So, of course, like typical LeBron hater, you want to give credit to AD. It's all about AD. It's not anything LeBron has done, right? He's only averaged a triple-double.
No. What you said
season.
What you said was Bron could never have success in the West. So totally discrediting AD. Okay, I bring up
See,
AD, and
this
you can
reminds me of the
understand.
whole, giving credit to Kyrie Irving for that championship that they won together. That hasn't aged well, by the way. That does not age well.
So you're telling me I can't give credit to the guy who actually hit the game-winning shot? I can't give him
He hit
credit.
okay. He hit a big shot. Okay,
He
so
hit the
all right.
biggest
So
shot.
are we gonna credit Steve Kerr for hitting big shots with the Bulls and completely ignore the fact that Jordan was the man on that team?
So you're gonna waste everybody's time and have me explain the difference between Kyrie
All right,
bringing the ball up the court by himself, ISO, game 7, busting it on the other team's best player, as opposed to Steve Kerr hitting a wide open free throw because they're double teaming Michael Jordan and he's left wide open in game 6 in a series the Bulls are already up. So you need me to tell you the difference between those? Come on, you don't. Mama, you're better than that.
Touche.
You're
Touche.
better.
You're a master debater. You're a master debater, Walker. What can I say?
Listen, I wasn't even trying to go down this rabbit hole. Look, Giannis.
You know better. You know better than to argue with an aspiring attorney.
Listen,
you're not gonna win this one.
Look, man, I wasn't even trying to go down that rabbit hole. Look, Bron and AD is a hell of a tandem. And that tandem has had great success in the West. So please don't try and equate, oh, well, you guys said he could never win in the West. Okay, man, well, AD can be the best player in the entire NBA on any given night. So let's not act like he doesn't have major help. And then, by the way, we just mentioned playoff Rondo. Playoff Rondo is real. He can take over a game like that. So, listen, you can give Bron his due as long as you give his supporting cast and the people who do a lot of the heavy lifting. Keep in mind, AD is the one who hit the game winner the last game. So come on, man.
All I'm saying is appreciate greatness while it's here, okay? Because much like Kobe, okay, when LeBron is gone, okay,
listen,
when he's gone,
my favorite player, I will be sad because my favorite player to root against will no longer be there. So yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight rooting against LeBron and the Lakers. It's like the two things I despise the most united in like a super villain team. And my heart was broken because I was like, the Lakers are going to win it. There's nothing I can do about it. But Denver's giving me hope. And I respect them for doing it the right way by building through the draft, building chemistry. And I think they deserve it. Them or Miami, I'm cool with them winning. Boston too, so they can have more titles, even more titles than the Lakers. Basically anybody but y'all.
Before we move on to Miami and Boston, I wanted to ask you regarding Paul George's comments that this year wasn't championship or bust. Because I recall that when Paul George and Kawhi decided to team up in LA with the Clippers, there was a lot of talk about championship. How do you feel about that? Was it championship or bust?
You really
or wait till next year?
You really know how to change the mood, don't you? Listen, we all have that cousin or aunt, uncle who's on Facebook posting stuff that we kind of don't want to associate with. Like, yeah, that's my cousin. They're different. Every time Paul George speaks, Clipper Nation cringes a bit because we're like, this is the guy. Like, I'm kind of like Kawhi. Like, Kawhi, you didn't want to do a background check? Like, we should have known.
Wait. You talking about revisionist history? You weren't feeling this way about Paul George last summer.
No. Everybody who knows me, I was happy about that deal because that was the only way to get Kawhi. Okay, so it was like
pathetic.
All right. It was
pathetic
like okay.
Pete.
It was like okay, like maybe because he's not going to be the lead guy on the team anymore, and because we got Kawhi and Lou Will and Montrez and Doc Rivers, we got Pat Bev. He won't have so much pressure on him. And maybe this will be the right environment for him to succeed because mentally he's a chump. I know he said he was in a dark place, all that stuff, and I respect mental health and all that. But Paul George was playing like this in the playoffs when he wasn't in the bubble. He played like this in OKC when Joe Ingles outplayed him, and he played like this in Indiana when he's overplaying LeBron and when they were going back and forth Miami, and LeBron gets a game-winning layup because Paul George is way out of position. Pandemic P has been a real thing before the pandemic. Okay, so I can't accept this.
I love how Pathetic P was laying the groundwork. All right, even before the Clippers got knocked out, he was already laying the groundwork because he knew that they were going to get bounced. Remember the whole thing about being in a dark place, this and that? Look, all the guys in the bubble are in a dark place.
Listen,
all right, he's not the only one.
Listen, I'm not that I'm a Paul George defender. LeBron James also brought up some comments about adjusting to the bubble and getting used to playing without fans. But I'm going to say this about
But you know what happens when you win, Mike? When you win, it cures all.
Look.
Cures everything.
Listen, you're right. Look, you're right. Paul George, I can't defend him. I can't. And my hope is somehow, some way, because he can't be traded. Clipper Nation, he can't be traded. No one's taking him right now. We're going to get 25 cents on the dollar right now. So we got to stick this out. We got to figure out a way that we can baby this guy throughout the regular season and the playoffs so he can just not screw it up. Okay? I believe in Paul George in the fact that maybe, just maybe, we can get one season where he doesn't screw it up for us. Other than that, man, like I don't have a leg to stand on as a Clipper fan.
All right, we'll leave Paul George alone. But look, I hope you enjoyed the Lakers losing tonight because that will just be a little speed bump on our way to our 17th championship.
Look, you guys are the favorites, but so are we, and we fell. So I'm telling you right now, because we gotta move on to some other things like Boston, Miami. Like I really want to talk about the star on your hat real quick, but Boston, Miami, look, dope series. I really don't care who wins. Miami came out of nowhere. Boston is super talented, but they kind of have Clipper-esque issues with uneven play. They're undisciplined. I heard Marcus Smart was in the locker room screaming at people. So they got some growing up to do, but they're a very young team. They haven't really been there before. Like I know they were there a couple years ago when they were a rookie and first-year player with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But this is a different scenario where there's expectations and pressure put on you. Because are they more talented than Miami? Hell yeah. But Miami is a cohesive unit. And Eric Spoelstra, because every Bron coach sucks, right? Isn't that what everybody wants to tell you? Eric Spoelstra is a hell of a coach, and he's showing the world that what he could do without Bron, D-Wade, and Bosh.
Yeah, look, I want Boston to win because I think that'd be like the historic matchup, obviously Lakers and Boston. I want to beat Boston on our way to our 17th championship. Despite Miami winning the first two, given the situation, it's just not a factor as far as had they dropped 2 games in Boston per se. That would have been the case, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I still feel that Boston can come back and win this series. They got Mr. Education Reform back. Gordon Hayward with his glorious mustache and all. I think Boston's going to come back and win this series, even though Miami is the hottest team right now. I think Boston, just talent-wise, I think they're going to overtake Miami eventually. It's going to be a long series.
Yeah, man, it's going 6 or 7. I still say the favorite, whoever wins between Lakers and Nuggets. I'm saying the favorite will come out of the West, but it's bubble playoff basketball. Who knows who's going to win this bubble championship? But hey, man, we've been on the NBA for a minute. We got to get to those Cowboys, baby.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh my goodness!
How about them Cowboys?
Look, man,
barbecue chicken.
Like I said, man, basketball. I was off basketball this weekend, and then all right, Cowboys are playing in Atlanta. We're going to bounce back. I'm watching, and then it's a fumble. It's like, all right, it's all good. That's one fumble, and it's another fumble, and it's like, 2 fumbles in a row. At first, I think it was Dak, then it was Zeke. And it was like, all right, okay, we're okay. Another fumble. It's like, oh shit. It's like, really? We got rid of Jason Garrett for this? But hey, man, how about them Cowboys, man? That was a hell of a comeback, man. What was you going through on Sunday?
Man, look, I didn't get the Sunday ticket this year, so I'm not able to watch all the games like I did last season. So I checked the score. It wasn't looking too good for us. I think it was like 20-0.
Yeah.
And my dad wanted to head over to Home Depot. I said, you know what? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's go to Home Depot. I went over there with my bad back and all. And I get a text. I think it was you or my cousin Junior. I got a text that said, "Can you believe this?" And I'm thinking, "Can you believe what?" Like, that game was over. The game was over, man. Like, I got all these bizarre texts, and I was trying to like puzzle it together. Like, what does this mean? Like, have the Cowboys actually done the impossible?
Yeah, man. Yes.
I couldn't believe it, man. So, I get home, I turn on the highlights, and I see Greg the Leg Zuerlein.
That's why we got him, baby.
The greatest kicker of all time.
That's why we got him.
I mean, that onside kick was bizarre, man.
Yeah.
Why were the Atlanta players just standing around looking at the ball?
They were mesmerized. The thing was spinning around. They're like, what is this? Because it hadn't gone 10 yards yet, and it just kept going and going and going. And it hypnotized them. And then you see the Cowboys player dive in. They're like, did the Cowboys really get this? I was like, oh,
dude,
shit.
The spin that Greg Zuerlein put on that ball was like soccer. It was he basically bent it like Beckham.
Hey,
it was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty.
I don't want to get out of hand, and I don't want to be too over the top, but I feel like that was a sign that we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's destiny, okay? Because usually those games, what usually happens, right? We come all the way back, and then we miss the kick.
Just to lose.
We come all the way back, and then we don't get the onside kick. Or we come all the way back, and we throw a pick. We do something ridiculous like that. The fact that we close this bad boy out, and your boy CeeDee Lamb.
Super Bowl or bust.
Your boy.
Are we going Paul George on him? Super Bowl or bust.
We definitely not doing the Paul George, but CeeDee Lamb as a rookie.
Look, there's only two fan bases. I feel worse. All right. Look, the Atlanta Falcons are the Clippers of the NFL. Listen, I'm sorry. Look, because come on, man.
They've been to a Super Bowl. What do you mean?
Well, right? They actually reached the Super Bowl, and they lost to Brady, being up, was it like 27-3 or 28-3? Yeah. So look, 25-point lead compared to a 20-point lead. I guess it wasn't that bad, right?
It wasn't that bad.
It should have been worse.
But no, man, seeing the Cowboys offense put up 40 points, you see Zeke looks good this year. CeeDee Lamb's already stepping up. Amari Cooper's there. Michael Gallup is a hell of a deep threat. And then this tight end is actually pretty dope. The backup tight end. What's his name?
Schultz.
Like Dalton Schultz or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, look, we're loaded. That showed a lot of heart to come back in that game. And
don't forget my boy CeeDee Lamb, the rook.
You didn't hear me. I said CeeDee Lamb like 3 times.
Did you?
You was too busy talking about something else. You didn't.
But you gotta say CeeDee's nuts. That's how you get my attention.
I don't want to say that. But all right, man. Before we get out of here, man. I know there's a lot of other football games. Your cousin's team, the Raiders, knocked off the Saints, man. I always get them confused. I'm sorry. Which one's the Raiders fan?
Walter is the Raider fan.
Walter's the Raider fan. Okay.
So, hey, man, I know he was excited about going to Vegas to check out the Death Star. That stadium is pretty badass. I will. It's Vegas. I will give the Raiders
Vegas,
credit. That stadium is pretty badass, man. It's like something out of Star Wars. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, Drew Brees looked old. Yeah. That was not his best moment.
Darren Waller, my fantasy football tight end, and my buddy Rafi's league, killer, man. He had like 12 catches, over 100 yards, TD. Gave me like 30-something fantasy football.
Great story too. Great story behind him. You know the whole story, right?
Something with substance abuse, right?
Yeah, man. So hey, it's great to see that guy doing good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Niners, they beat the crap out of the Jets without like any of their starters. Gotta shout
Yeah,
out your
man.
dad because that's your
My
dad's.
dad. Hey, I saw a meme. It said, "You beat the Jets, but at what cost?"
did you
The,
did you
they
hit up?
had. Hmm?
I was gonna say, did you hit up your cousin Junior about the Falcons game? Because I'm sure he was
Dude.
not happy.
So I was already gonna like buy him a 24 pack. I thought it was over. Now he has to buy me the 24 pack, which is it's a win-win either way because we're gonna drink it together. So it's all good.
Yeah,
But
man. The
yeah,
other
man.
the other big game was Seattle and New England. Man, you had Cam versus Russ. They letting Russ cook. You got like a
Yeah.
Super Bowl rematch from back in the day. You got Belichick versus what's my man in Seattle, Pete Carroll, and it came down to the wire, man. First off, Cam is really balling. Okay,
What do you think? What do you think about that last play call where a little quarterback
it's
sneak?
ridiculous. I'm like, there's no pass option. Like that was shockingly uninspired by
Yeah, look,
Belichick.
I think week 2, no preseason. I think like I said, you're going to see a lot of these teams kind of making mistakes like that early on.
No.
Where
You're not giving no Bill Belichick coach team a pass like that. Come on, man. That's the hoodie.
yeah, I mean, but like I said, all teams are still trying to like figure out their personnel and kind of trying things. It's kind of by trial and error. So it's going to take a while for these teams to look completely sharp. I would say like maybe week 4, week 5, you'll really start to see, which teams are Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, and listen, we've had some amazing QB matchups. So, like I said, you had Russ versus Cam. I think Thursday Night Football, Week 1, it was Pat Mahomes versus Deshaun. This week it was Deshaun versus Lamar, and then Monday Night Football next week is Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. The
That's going to be
past two MVPs.
that's going to be
man.
a barn burner, man. Two MVP candidates right there.
And listen, I gotta mention my fantasy quarterback in both my leagues because I believed in him this year. I knew he was going to be the Lamar Jackson of this season. My guy, my quarterback, Kyler Murray is tearing the league up, and you owe that man an apology because you auto drafted him on your team, and he's killing it for you.
He's the Spud Webb of the NFL. The Muggsy Bogues.
You should trade him for all the crap you talked about him.
Look, man, like I said, he might be my lucky leprechaun this year. Wow. It was destiny. Wow. It was an automated draft, and he somehow it was like a last minute thing, man. He ended up on my roster somehow. Who am I to mess up with destiny? So.
Well, shoot, man. Look, I'm out of sports topics. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Any other games or something coming up?
I think we pretty much covered it all, man. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like this episode ran long because you took me into a LeBron. You took me down the LeBron alley, and you know how I feel about that. Okay, the show almost got off the tracks.
We can go back and forth about LeBron for hours. So.
Whew. But yeah, we don't want to do that because. Who likes talking about Braun? So anyway, hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. Thanks for all the new subscribers. I'm seeing the channel grow each day, which is awesome. Keep listening through the audio version. If me and Romo say things like, look at the hat or look at the star on your hat, sometimes I forget. Like some people still just listen to the podcast version. So you got to work with us. But thank you for support. We're about to get out of here.
Especially because I have a face for radio, man.
Hey, man, hey, shout out to Romo for finally upgrading his equipment. You went to Best Buy, right?
Yeah.
And you got a tablet?
It is a tablet, yeah. A little upgrade.
Finally, he was on that. He was on that broke phone stuff.
But now you can see a face that only a mother could love.
Hey, as long as somebody loves it, right? But all right, everybody. Till next time. Talk to you guys later. Peace.